we need to ask the question, what shapes us? And so in order to do that, I thought it would be important for us to at least take a little bit of a look at Harvard University's Crest. Now that might sound kind of strange, but it doesn't sound so strange when you realize that in the 17th century it was Christians who actually established and founded Harvard University. And what's interesting about their crest, you can go look this up, is that there are 3 books within the crest. And these 3 books are overlaid with the Latin term veritas, which means in Latin truth. Now these 3 books are the book of God's Word, the book of God's world, and human logic. And so what I've done for us here is to basically give us an understanding of how do we know anything. Now I should put this as a side note. It's really important that you understand that this is a huge topic of discussion. How do we know anything? But I wanted to give just a brief overview of understanding how 3 things essentially shape who we are and how we think. The first is that we understand that reason is underneath revelation. That is, that God's world is going to help us to interpret all things. Creational revelation also is here. Very important for us to understand that creation itself helps us to interpret the world around us. And then, of course, we understand that biblical revelation is going to overlay all of this. So, biblical revelation overlays creational revelation. God is the one who has made all things. And reason then comes under the authority of revelation. So here's what I would do about that. Some people say that reason is all that there is and we really don't need anything else. But I'm suggesting that reason comes underneath the other 2. In fact, reason or human ability to understand actually comes underneath the creational revelation. Creation actually helps us to understand not only ourselves, but the God who has made all things. And then, of course, biblical revelation is the one that overlays all of those other 2. In order to properly interpret our world, in order to properly interpret ourselves, in order to properly interpret everything that we think about, we need to understand Harvard's crest, that truth, veritas, comes to us through His Word, His world, and the logic that He has given us to understand. But of course, understanding that biblical revelation overlays it all. That is what shapes us.